Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we have some very interesting news in regards to Xbox and why a lot of these third-party game companies are kind of somewhat ditching on Xbox. We're going to talk about this, but as well, we also have some now reported Xbox upcoming conferences, so to kind of give a little bit of good with a little bit of bad, basically if a lot of people are skipping all these Xbox exclusives and deals, now we actually might have a chance for Xbox to kind of redeem themselves and just make their own brand new games, and as well, some even brand new cloud gaming apps too, being once again expanding out into the ecosystem of, well, Xbox. So we have a lot of different various things to go talk about, things to go bring up, and, well, all of that. And as well, make sure you guys are subscribed and kind of give me your thoughts and comments. We've had a little bit of a weird news cycle these past few weeks when it comes with Xbox, where we do kind of feel like we've had a lot of negativity for some odd weird reason. So if anything, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and $500 giveaway. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below for bonus giveaway entries. We also have the Target link, Amazon links, everything else all in between. And as well, I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. So let's go diving into all these various topics. So very first, to start off over here, we've been seeing a weird kind of dissidence when it comes to games being more focused on PC, on Steam, and somewhat also being avoided on Xbox. We've been kind of seeing this a lot, even from not even exclusive deals. But this kind of leads into some intriguing topics. We're going to talk about this why are major third-party games constantly now skipping Xbox for whatever reason? We hear from Miles Dumplier. So saying Xbox has a complicated third-party game problem that will be tough for Microsoft to solve. In the last decade, the video game industry has grown staggeringly. In 2012, video games generated an estimated $63 billion in sales worldwide, and current projections predict 2022 will close at a mind-blowing $200 billion. With this increased revenue potential comes amplified investments from prominent industry figures. PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox want bigger slices of this tremendous lucrative pie. While these legacy platform holders and passionate fans celebrate the importance of compelling first-party exclusive titles, history demonstrates that many third-party games are the most significant profit drivers year over year. So think Call of Duty, which is why Xbox wants to buy it. Madden, FIFA, Grand Theft Auto, and other juggernauts frequently dominate the sales charts, and when it comes to undeniable financial workhorses, Microsoft has ensured consistent content. However, there are apparent gaps in the platform's third-party support, and this is kind of where it goes and dives into these big issues, where as we see all this stock and everything with it, a lot of things are more pushing on, like I said, Steam, and also on PlayStation, where it kind of seems like those games are either getting earlier access or have a bigger priority support. And some of these are not even necessarily because of having exclusives or whatever, just kind of just how it works on out. And we're seeing a lot of also indie games that have always been prioritized now on Steam, where it kind of shows that all these indie type games and early access type games, they kind of go and develop their own market and niche market on, say, Steam for PC users, and then they'll go, if it becomes successful, move on over to consoles themselves. And that's why it's intriguing to note, because time and time again, we've seen other major publishers just skip Xbox, which is crazy too, because they have a PC user base and Xbox users. So occasionally, this can be reasonably linked to exclusivity deals or limited time publishing arrangements. However, though, there's dozens of examples of global video game releases that have come to every platform but Xbox for whatever reason. As Microsoft has proven in recent years, platforms can survive and even thrive without universal backing. So why are not people using this? So basically, I've mentioned this before too as well, where there's a lot of struggles to go maintain growth in certain markets, such as the Japanese markets, and then highlighted unfortunate long list of JRPG franchises that are just not available on Xbox for some odd reason. Another good example too is Genshin Impact, that just never, for some odd reason, took the jump with Xbox, because Xbox just didn't want it. And it kind of seems like Xbox is falling behind more on the fact of this, they're just not getting as many games, and as well, if they are, they're more on the Gamepass spectrum rather than just independent games themselves, like just people casually scrolling through and buying games. So a lot of these people fall in these industries and all want to have these certain niches. It's not crazy, but a lot more folks are getting upset because they're worried that they're going to be neglected. They even have a quote saying, Xbox players are worried they're just going to be neglected yet again. So according to Internet Sleuths, who snapped several screenshots from the ESRB website, Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster, as well as also other various things, these console listings have added development and adds credence to these long-running rumors of console ports for these beloved collection of iconic RPGs. PlayStation and Nintendo fans celebrate the idea of playing Final Fantasy 1 through 6 on their platforms, but once again, Xbox players are just worried that they're just not going to get the attention that they think they deserve. So currently, console versions of Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster haven't been confirmed by Square Enix, and we can't definitely say that they haven't been rumored to be released so far and skipping Xbox, but a lot of folks are just not, like, they're just assuming it won't based on the history and other platforms and all of that, and that is something to kind of note, because a lot of people are like, hey, why is Xbox not working with these devs and trying to get these games? But as well, a lot of folks are like, hey, why has Xbox not even had their own game pretty much throughout this entire year? So we've been seeing more and more people saying, hey, people are getting, like, they're having these tensions. People are getting upset. People are like, hey, what's going on? They're trying to reach out and trying to ask and figure it out. And it just kind of goes to show that all these big companies just don't really seem like they care so much about their Xbox. So they mentioned to Atlas, for Persona, Square Enix for the Final Fantasies and other games, like, even Forspoken, Nihon Falcom, Capcom, even Xbox themselves, Koei Tecmo, and other of these multi-platform releases that just aren't really available on Xbox. And it just kind of seems where they don't have a good connection with, like, a Japanese or Asian-based type studios. And once again, I think Genshin Impact is a really good example. And a lot of these people are just like, hey, we have nothing to talk about. There's nothing going on. Not our faults. Don't worry about it. Don't message us again. All of that type tied on in. So they've seen these numerous industry professionals, and they're all like these dynamics. They're just basically going and saying like, hey, why are these games just never coming to you as well? And I think a big thing is also tied into ports, and I'd probably agree on this one. So a big thing to note is that a lot of these Xbox things, number one, we've seen Xbox be kind of sticklers where they don't want to have games not on Xbox Series S. Or they'd probably want to have a proper exclusivity deal with Gamepass. Or they don't want to have a nice deal to give up to PlayStation, which makes sense, it's business, but that kind of leads a lot of devs to be like, well, we could just sell it on PlayStation that has a pretty predominant like JRPG audience, or something like that, and it'll do fine. Like, why not? Put it on PC, it'll do fine. And it kind of, I think, almost shows that Xbox is kind of not helping their own cause. They're not really fighting to go and give these games proper due diligence, but as well, they've even had numbers saying that it might cost up to $50,000 or up to 6 months or more to go and build and actually transport indie ports alone to Xbox, let alone if it's a bigger game or they want to make it good or there's bugs or issues or anything else tied on in. So it kind of seems kind of bad that Xbox just doesn't really seem like they kind of go and care. Now, one big thing to know is people just want Xbox to be more consistent, saying that their major third-party partners are complicated and they're inconsistent, and that Microsoft knows, because he's even said he has to rebuild now trust with Japanese creators and developers, as we mentioned, with like Square Enix's and Capcom's and all that, because they don't have that good connection, or they kind of maybe messed them up in the past, and now they're trying to get them back. But that kind of leads to the fact that a lot of Xbox games may not show up then on the console, or may not have good marketing deals, or may not even end up on Game Pass, and it kind of goes to show that a lot of these big games are rough, because things like, Square Enix is like a big, huge company with huge games, and funny enough, it's like weird, because now these people don't really want to work with Xbox. So on top of this too, Xbox does have the chance and does want to push more markets and wants more people to obviously be playing their games, which is probably the Call of Duty acquisition, and that kind of leads to a really weird issue where people are just choosing not to really spend the money or time or effort unless they have a really good Game Pass deal to go and make it so Xbox can even go and have games to play. So I'm kind of curious on your thoughts on all of this one, because I thought this was a really good write-up. But as well, I want to remind people that we are hearing lots of rumors that Xbox will be hosting up its own event soon. So while we're kind of complaining how there's no games, we might have another big roundup that there might actually be a lot of proper first-party Xbox games coming out in the very near future, whether it's for more indie game connections, maybe the Fable, or other various updating games too. And that kind of goes into the early 2023 rumors where they have brand new studios and franchises and events that are seemingly being planned by all these Xbox executives, and we keep on hearing more and more about it. Now, I think it's actually really cool to see, because we even hear other folks saying my vague rumor, so there's going to be Xbox showcases coming up soon in the 2023, and people being like, hey, what do you guys actually want to see from these games? Because we're seeing things like Fable, Perfect Dark, Avowed, and all these other various games that should have actually had something come out in the near future. And although we're still having all these issues with all these games everywhere, the Xbox Cloud Gaming app is actually now extending now even more to new various devices like iPhones, Androids, and even Xbox things they'll put together, because at the end of the day, they are still trying to push Game Pass no matter what. They may have some issues dealing with some developers and may have some issues dealing with Japanese developers or these third-party titles, but it does go to show that there's even more brand new TVs that are just saying, who cares? We're going to give you guys some awesome Xbox Game Pass deals, and now being supported on even more devices. So a very intriguing thing to note that Xbox has gone through a rocky patch, especially for media, but it does seem like they're still building and working on new systems. So if any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, or $500 giveaway. We have the Twitter and Twitch room down below in case you guys want to follow. We have the Amazon links and Target links too, and I want to hear your thoughts and comments down below.